So they know what is the law it is going to be there. And they have to legislate it out. GST Council will take it up and it will be legislated, it will come up. So they are ready. Their people will get trained now. Okay. Now the next issue is regarding, this is going to be such a huge exercise. What is going to happen? It is going to be system driven. It needs an IT system for this. Is government ready with IT system? Yes, they are ready. If you want to know that. They already at least what they created something called a GST network. They created something called a GST network, GSTN. This is a company which was formed. The company has given a contract to at least Infosys, which is available around some 1,300 or 400 crores. This was done at least almost a year back. They are already working on this. And the software system is already built in, because we are also at least a part in the sense we are the domain expert. We are at least helping the Infosys also giving the legal position domain expert into that. I will not discuss much about that because of confidentiality. I cannot discuss that area. So, as far as the infrastructure is concerned, the infrastructure, IT infrastructure is concerned, for the government side, it is going to get ready by, starting from at least October, it is going to phase going to be ready, and then February, it will be up and running. So that means they are going to be ready. Now then actually we have to prepare. Whether IT's infrastructure is ready or not, still they can bring it out. There is nothing mandatory that IT infrastructure should be there by the law. But I say that they already gone ahead and they are also prepared at least IT infrastructure also. Now actually what is that one? It has to be done by the effectively, we are all the people who are going to have a direct bearing on that. For that, we should have a prepare ourselves. Preparing ourselves means, what is the meaning of preparing ourselves? First of all, we should understand what is GST. This is one of this exercise what you have done it today. It is at least give at least to understand what is GST. Then it needs a lot of preparation. I will not say that the preparation is going to be a matter of at least 2 days or 1 day. It is not that. The preparation is going to take probably actually depending upon the size of the company is what we discussed about. If it is actually having actually the turnover of actually about 5 crores, 6 crores, your preparation will be required probably about minimum a month preparation. So what is the thing actually, what is a month preparation? It is not something actually changing that, okay, I make an invoice, different invoice. No, not that way it is one. You should understand, and then even some of your systems, in the sense, it may be an IT or a procurement model that should be available differently, it is one. On top of that, you are having a transition. On top of that, you are having a transition. How to do a transition is also important, it is. If you are talking about something is having a turnover of about 100 crores, because considering the multiple activities they are going to have, it is one, probably they need minimum about 4 to 5 months to prepare themselves to transition. If some of you have a highly complicated IT system, you have to prepare your IT system also. As a result, you should be ready by that period in 6 to 7 months. I am just giving a tentative. For some it may be at least talking about 6 months, it may be even 5 months, for some it may go to even 8 months. I am talking about an average, depending upon this. The time effort required, it is not at least a matter of talking about it is. It can be done at least a matter of 10 days, 15 days, it is not there. Depending upon your actually complexities, what you are doing, accordingly you have to plan it out. So it is a time, it can come in 1st April 2017, it can come in actually even 1st July 2017, but make your preparation that when it comes in 1st April 2017, you are ready to take it on. That is what actually I want to give this message only, saying that don't wait for saying that at least in March, and they may come and say that okay, it may come in July. Because something it is not coming there, they say in March. Let us not wait for that. It is going to be at least July, also not there, but you get ready as though it is only 1st April. So I say the current indication is only 1st April 2017. I now at least I told the first thing that you should know something about what is the GST. This I am going to talk about based upon the existing model GST law. This is not a legislation, let me put it very specifically. But this law is the one that is going to be the, basically you can take almost 70 to 80%, this is what is going to come up. Because the people who are involved, especially empowered committee is the one that is going to be the GST council. And who are in the center also, they have seen it out. So if you really look at this one, this has been seen by the people who are going to be in the GST council. Gone through them, it is one. So many iterations, it has gone through almost for so many years. It is not something, the law has been made now it is. This is almost has gone for 3 years. After 3 years it has come out a perfect law. No, I don't say that is. Some law has come out, model GST law. Still further they have to refine it out. What is available currently, I am going to discuss about based upon the model GST law. If changes come, accordingly, there are some changes you have to ask for that. These are the areas which you have to look for that it is. When I say goods and service tax, they basically talked about, it is a multi-stage tax, every level. When I say manufacturer, talked about the goods portion, manufacturer tax, and at least we sells it on 60. For ease of calculation, we take 20 rupees, you will pay tax on the 600 mein. Let us take 1,000 rupees le lenge. 600, 12%, so you will pay how much? 72. The next level, it has gone to actually the distributor, he is going to sell it for 800. He will pay 20 means, he will pay 160. But this 120 paid will be available as a credit for him. So 600 manufacturer has collected, 600 plus 120 tax will collect. And this 120 will be available as a credit for the distributor. Let us take the distributor because I am talking about value multi-stage tax.
The first was collected by center, the second maybe.
No, don't worry about center and all those things, leave it for the time being. I will come to, let us take everything is happening within the same state. Go further for the time being. Let us not actually worry about who is collecting it out. First, the conceptually, what is called a multi-stage tax. I say manufacturer, then at least we will have only 3 levels for the time being. Manufacturer, a distributor, and the retailer, consumer, right? So 3 levels, end to the consumer. So manufacturer is selling at 600, charging 20%, let us say that, 600 plus 20, 720 will collect it from the customer, from the distributor. Distributor is going to sell it at 800. When he sells in 800, what is going to collect now? Another 160. 800 plus 160. What he has paid to the manufacturer? 600 plus 120. This 120 is available as a credit for him to pay 160. Whether within the state, outside state, there is possibility it is there, it is one. Now, the next level it is a retailer. Retailer is going to sell it out 800. 1,000 rupees he will sell it out. 1,000 means he will charge 20% means 200. Customer will pay 1,200. Customer cannot take credit. That is a consumption based. Indirect tax, it is always passed on to the customer or the consumer, that is called. Now, when you are paying the 200, for paying 200, what is going to do? Retailer, he will take a credit of 160. So, the total entire value chain, what is the tax paid? 200. Though it is a multi-stage tax set off by the credit from the previous value chain. So, in totality, what is the tax it is getting levied? It is only a 20% on the final price. Yes. In going on taking credit. That is called the multi-stage tax. Value added tax. Effectively, the tax is only on the value added portion. If you are talking about 600 to 800 means on the 200 only the tax is paid by him extra. Because earlier you are taking credit. But the customer, the end, 1,000 he has to pay because that is the end point. It is one. Okay. So immediately your question should be there, am I going to pay higher one? No. Next. Because so far VAT I am paying only 12.5. I consider as a 12.5. Since we are all in Delhi, we'll go by 12.5 for the time being, it is one. Some states they're gone even to 15 already. Okay. So 12.5 it is one. Now we are telling that customer has to pay 20%. It is going to be high. Remember, the goods which actually we are purchasing it out has already suffered excise duty. That excise duty probably on 600, let us take on the 600 excise duty of 12.5 it has suffered already. That is already built into your price. When I say 600 excise duty is paid, what is doing it out? The current, let us actually, I'll give the same example using the current model it is now. All within the same state. I'm not talking about other states for the time being. 600 rupees is the price. 10 is the excise duty. 10 is the VAT. Let us use of calculation. I'm not getting told of all those things now. So 10 and 10. So what will you do? He'll actually say that okay, 60 के ऊपर 10 it is 1, 60 के ऊपर 10 लगाना है. That is called a cascading effect. It is going to be on. There is a tax, VAT is also on excise duty also. For simple reason, we'll keep it off anyway. Okay. 600, there is a 10 that means 60 plus 60. When a wholesaler purchases it out, he is going to sell it for how much? 800. What is the tax he will pay? 80. Right? 10%, na? Because not 20 now, it is 80. But what credit he will get it? He will get a credit of only 60. Because that is only the state portion, that is the VAT alone he can take credit. He cannot take the credit of the excise duty.